Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Gaming Espresso. I'm Uncle Gamer. Sorry this one's coming at you a little late, but the reason for that has been explained. I'm having to take a break for a couple of weeks. The schedule on the side, I get confused. On the side is accurate, but will probably not come back into play for at least another week to 10 days because of issues with my internet. But that's another story. There's another video on that. We want to talk about a topic where we're going to condense a gaming topic. And the gaming topic we're going to condense, I want to start with, well, let's start with what the topic's about. It's about the fact that the gaming community needs to, pardon my French, grow the fuck up. And it's come about from a couple of different things that we've seen. We've seen almost religious fanaticism when it comes to reviews of hardware. People making death threats against reviewers because they didn't like what the review's done. We've seen recently Jim Sterling is getting his ass handed to him because he gave Legend of Zelda a 7 out of 10. I don't know if I agree or disagree with him, but it doesn't deserve the hate and vitriol that has been spewed his way. I mean, spewed. Like, yeah, I could do a Jim Sterling moment here, but I'm gonna avoid it. It's just amazing. Now let's go back. Let's do a little history lesson about PC gaming. I used to run my own computer business. We go into homes and we'd help people develop or build their PCs, custom built PCs in homes. And I'd go in and I'd talk to them. And one of the first things I'd do is I would ask them, what do you use your computer for? Now remember, this was 15 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. What do you use your computers for? And I'd always hear surfing the internet, maybe watching YouTube or a video, maybe listening to music, email. As it became more prominent, video conferencing with like family that live far away so the grandparents could see the grandkids, stuff like that. And then almost every time would come the next comment, but I don't play games. Why was that? Why was that? Because there was a stigma attached to computer gaming that you had to be a little kid if you were a gamer. Now, over the last about decade, we've really begun to see this change. And this has become, computer gaming has become more mainstream. It's begun to gain traction. It's begun to become accepted. I think Skyrim was the critical mass moment. When Skyrim came out, and we suddenly saw Skyrim references in mainstream media. We saw it in news broadcasts. We saw it in TV shows. We saw it everywhere. It reached critical mass at that point. Big Bang Theory deserves a lot of credit for helping to bring it forward. But that stigma to this day still exists to a certain level. There's a generality belief. If you go out into the general public, I'm not talking the gaming communities. If you go out in the general public and you start talking to people about gamers, they're still a little shy about admitting they're a gamer. Hardcore gamers are still thought to live in mama's basement. Hardcore gamers are still thought to spend more time looking at porn than actually dating a girl. The list goes on and on and on. And then we see, and this is a difficult topic because it's hard to articulate this, and I don't do a script for a while, so we're not doing a script. This is live. I'm just doing it. Then we get to this. Then we get to the asinine, childish, immature, dysfunctional behavior that we see on the internet today with so many people. The internet gives a level of anonymity, and because of that, people believe it gives them the right to be an asshat. All right? I'm putting myself out here. This is me. See my face? You know who I am. Most of you know my real name. That's because I believe if you're going to have an opinion, if you don't have the balls, yes, I said it. I'm in Conan, by the way, big balls. If you don't have the balls to back it up and to be able to stand behind your words and to represent without having to hide behind a pseudonym on the internet, then your opinion, in my opinion, doesn't need to be expressed, especially when it's death threats against people because you don't like what they said. It's gaming. Okay, I can understand a bit of the argument about testing methodology that's going on with hardware in the last couple of weeks. And I'm going to do another video on that. We're going to talk about that in a completely different topic. But when one reviewer decides he doesn't like a product and there is an uprising of holy hell to defend him, I mean, you guys are as bad as those idiots that don't like the fact that a cartoon of Muhammad insulted a Muslim and they put out a death threat. You're at the same level. It's Zelda, for God's sake. It's a piece of hardware. It's video gaming. And we've allowed ourselves to get to the point that we think we need to threaten people. We need to attack them. We need to go after them. We need to destroy them because they don't like what I like. This is an attitude that is destructive to gaming. We have for years fought to make it so gaming wasn't looked down on by society. We finally begin to reach that level, finally begin to grasp it. And then we see this kind of behavior take place within communities. Look, if you like Zelda, that's fantastic. Enjoy Zelda. I'm a huge Zelda fan. Now, not this particular version. I haven't had it yet. I haven't played it yet. But I love Zelda. I grew up with Zelda. I love RPGs. But there are people out there that maybe don't like RPGs. Maybe there are people out there that think League of Legends is the greatest game ever made. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. For me it ain't, but for you it might be. And that's okay. Because again, the strength of gaming is diversity. We have to accept diversity. But when we see attacks take place, when you watch League of Legends and Dota players go at each other like the Hatfields and McCoys, you have to look at them and go, you're both stupid. This is wrong. This is just wrong. And we as a community have to stand up and say it's wrong. We want people to accept our communities, to accept our hobbies, to accept our lifestyle choices. Gaming for me, remember, gaming for me isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle, it's a life choice. I love PC gaming. I game all the time on my free time. I don't watch TV, I game. I don't go on vacations, I game. I do this stuff all the time. I do it with my family, I do it with my friends. And that's okay. Because I still do the things an adult needs to do. I go to work, I do the things I need to do. But I'm not going to get and knock down, drag out bashing wars with people, calling them names or attacking them because they disagree with my opinion about a video game. Okay? I may love a certain video game. You may look at it and say, that's stupid. You know what? That's okay. It's okay. This is why I love it. This is why you think it's stupid. And we both go our separate ways because you don't have to play the game and I don't have to not play the game. It's our choices. So we need to do this. When you see a bully in the real world, we're told you need to step in. You need to step in and defend the person being bullied. And I agree with that, by the way. I agree with that. When you do nothing, when you watch evil in the world and you do nothing, you're as evil as the evil being perpetrated. That's my opinion. But, now here comes the well, actually it's not a but. So let's take the but out. In gaming forums, in gaming communities, when you watch this type of behavior, when you watch hateful, vitriol speech attacking someone because their opinion is different about a game or about a piece of hardware, we need to stand up and tell them to shut up. We need to stand up and say, grow up, become an adult, accept different opinions matter, different opinions count. It is amazing to me. We have become so divided alongst so many lines, and we share this common hobby. We want this hobby to be accepted. We want this hobby to grow. We want this hobby to become more. Yet we attack new players. Communities do this. They attack new players because it's fun to beat up the noob, and then don't understand why their community doesn't grow. We attack people with budget gaming PCs, hardware enthusiasts do, because they don't care enough about gaming to actually spend money, and then wonder why people don't want to be involved in those groups. We can't do this. We need to embrace and accept everyone. If you don't like an opinion by a reviewer, that's okay. You're welcome to post a comment saying you disagree and give good reasons you disagree. Not, you suck. That doesn't work. Okay? Give a reason. Actually, give a reason you disagree. If you can't, just don't watch the reviewer anymore. He doesn't owe you anything unless you gave him money. He doesn't owe you anything. So accept the fact that some people's opinions are going to be different. Some people's responses are going to be different. But we as a community need to stand up and put an end to this shit. This shit of death threats, of holy all-out war, because somebody's got a different thought or opinion than we do, needs to be ended. We need to end it. We need to accept that gamers are gamers, and let us focus on the fun we can have together instead of spending all of our time trying to piss on each other because it makes us feel like bigger men or women. So on that note, folks, I hope you have a great week. I will bring you another Gaming Espresso later this week. Like I said, I'm working on the one about the different review types and reviewing methodologies and what that means to PC gamers. That one's a little tougher. Hoping we'll have that done for you by the weekend. Until I see you next time, game on.